Part 1, The Prophet, the Bride, and the Backseat Confessions. Narrated by Uncle Drew. Let me tell why all a little something 'bout side hustles. Sometimes you pick 'em, and sometimes, they pick you. Now, after I retired from working 30 years at the post office, the one where the sorting machine tried to eat my arm, I thought I was done clocking in. But when gas prices jumped higher than a squirrel on espresso, and my pension started looking like loose change in a laundry machine, I figured it was time to do what everybody under 40 was doing these days: become an Uber driver. Now I ain't sayin' I knew what I was doing that first day. Lord knows I didn't. But what I did know was that my gas tank was full, my mixtape was fire, and my old Crown Vic had more soul than a Baptist choir on Sunday morning. What I didn't expect was that every ride that week would be a trip into the Twilight Zone. Ride 1, The Prophet with a Bluetooth earpiece. My first ping was at 6:42 a.m. a man named Clarence. I pulled up to this rundown strip mall near Eastview, and there he was, three-piece suit, mirrored sunglasses, and an earpiece blinking like he was talking to the Pentagon. He slid into the back seat without a word. Just nodded. Said, "Drive." "Where to?" He handed me a post-it note. One word, Destiny. I thought it was a street name. Nope. As I drove, he started mumbling into that earpiece, but there was no call. Just static. Then he looked up at me in the rear view and said, "You know the world ends at 4:06 p.m. today. Now I'm a patient man. Been married twice. Worked 2 decades in government. But this was new." "You mean for everybody or just your data plan?" I asked. He didn't laugh. Just said, "You're part of it now." By the time I dropped him off in front of a pet crematorium, by the way, he leaned in close and whispered, "The second passenger will give you the sign. Don't ignore it." And then, poof. Gone. I looked back. The seat where he sat warm. But there was a single feather. Snow white. Floating. No birds in sight. Ride 2, The Runaway Bride. I barely had time to process Prophet Bluetooth before my app dinged again. New rider, Shelby. Pickup, First Baptist Church of Spring Hill. Now I know that church. Big stained glass windows. Pancake breakfasts every other Sunday. But today it was packed. White limos, crying aunties, groomsmen looking like they stepped out of a Men's Warehouse ad. And sprinting down the steps, was Shelby. Wedding dress flapping. Heels in hand. Mascara running like she just watched the end of Titanic. She dove into the back of my car like I was Thelma and she was Louise. Go. Anywhere but here. I hit the gas. We were halfway down Main Street before she said a word. Then it all came pouring out: arranged engagement, cheating fiancé, something about a dream she had where a man with glowing sunglasses told her freedom awaits in the car with a feather. Hold up. A feather? I glanced at the back seat, still there. Right where Clarence sat. I asked her where she wanted to go. She said, "Somewhere I can disappear." So I drove her to the last place anyone would look: a roadside taxidermy/bait shop off Route 9, run by a woman named Tiny Linda. Don't let the name fool you. Linda once beat a biker in arm wrestling and makes a mean gator jerky. Shelby looked me in the eye and said, "Thank you, Uncle Drew. I know this sounds weird, but I think you're meant to be part of something." That's twice in one day someone said that. Ride 3, The Silent Passenger. Third ride was different. No name. No destination. Just pickup, 11th and Maple. When I got there, nobody was on the curb. Then the back door opened. I turned around. No one was there. But the door stayed open for a solid minute before it shut on its own. And the car got cold. Freezing. The radio changed on its own. My mixtape gone. Static. Then a voice, "You're going the wrong way." I slammed the brakes. The voice again. "Follow the feather." I looked down. That same white feather, now on the dashboard. So I drove. I didn't know where or why. But I followed. And when I stopped, it was back at the strip mall. Where Clarence had gotten in. Only now, it was gone. Not just closed. Gone. Flattened. Like it never existed. Just an empty lot. And in the middle a glowing symbol carved into the dirt. A spiral. Inside it another feather. Let me pause right there. You might be wonderin', Drew, were you high dreamin' sleep drivin'? But I know what I saw. I still have that feather. It's in my glove compartment right now, sittin' next to some wintergreen gum and a lucky coin from 1972. That was day one. And the rides only got weirder from there. Part 2, The Hitchhiker and the Hollow Man, narrated by Uncle Drew. Now listen, after day one, most sane folks would have deleted the Uber app, parked their ride, and gone back to crossword puzzles and decaf. But me not. Uncle Drew don't scare easy. Besides, ID made $78 and a story to last 3 family reunions. So I kept driving. Day 2 started slow. Just some college kids and a guy who smelled like old garlic and regret. But around 3 p.m. the air shifted. That feather I told why all about it floated up from the glove compartment all by itself. No wind. Just rose like it had somewhere to be. And that's when I got the ping. Ride 4, The Hitchhiker with No Shadow. Pickup location, County Road 13. Near mile marker 7. That's farm country. Middle of nowhere. The kinda road where the GPS starts begging you to turn back. I pulled up next to an old scarecrow, no rider in sight. Then out of the cornfield stepped a man. Tall, skinny, dressed like he was late for a funeral in 1952. Black hat. Black coat. No suitcase. No smile. He didn't speak. Just opened the back door and slid in. "Where to?" I asked, glancing at the mirror. He didn't answer. But when I looked in the rear view, I saw the seat depressin'. But no one was there, and here's the thing: outside the car, he cast no shadow. Not even in that burning afternoon sun. But inside I saw frost creep along the windows. That radio started up again, same static as before. Then a whisper, "He's looking for the bride." I slammed the brakes. "You mean Shelby?" No answer. Just a long, hollow wheeze like wind through a dead forest. Then he pointed. Not with his hand but with my steering wheel. It turned on its own. Hard. To the left. I followed. We drove through back roads I'd never seen before, down into a hollow where the trees grew tall and crooked like they were trying to escape the ground. He finally spoke. A voice like gravel being stirred in a pot. "The ones you drive are chosen. They are threads in a rope that's unraveling." Unraveling into what? He smiled. Or at least, I think he did. Into him. I dropped him off at an abandoned gas station with a lit open sign but no power. When I turned to ask who him was, he was gone. Just the smell of burnt matches and an empty backseat. Ride 5, the woman with the birdcage. Now this next one I ain't gonna lie. This one messed me up. Pickup location, Sycamore and Ash. A quiet little cul-de-sac where all the houses looked the same, like someone copy-pasted them in a rush. I pulled up, and out came a woman in her 30s holding a birdcage. Inside no bird. Just a bundle of feathers, arranged like a nest. She got in, cage in her lap, and said, "Follow the singing." That's it? No address. Just follow the singing. Then I heard it. Soft. Sweet. Like a lullaby in reverse. Sounded like it was coming from the cage. I drove. Every turn felt guided. Like my hands weren't fully my own. We passed a gas station, and all the lights flickered as we rolled by. A billboard flashed, "He sees you too," though I swear the day before it was an ad for car insurance. After 20 minutes, we stopped in front of a boarded-up motel. She turned to me and said, "He was born here." Who? She opened the cage. The feathers inside floated upward and hovered, spinning like a tiny tornado. Then she said something I'll never forget, "The man with no face lives between the mirrors. He watches through the glass. He's coming for the driver who sees." She stepped out. And vanished. I mean that literally she stepped onto the sidewalk, and before her second foot hit the ground, she was gone. Not a trace. No sound. No breeze. Just that cage, still in the back seat. The note. When I got home that night, bone-tired and mentally fried, I found a note stuck in my mailbox. One word, handwritten in blue ink, "Tomorrow." No stamp. No return address. Just tomorrow. I brought the note inside, set it on the kitchen table, and tried to sleep. But all night long, the house creaked like it was breathing. And just before dawn, I swear I heard a voice whisper through the vents, "One more ride, Drew. Just one more." To be continued in part 3, the final fare. You still ride in with me? Hope so, 'cause this last ride changes everything. Let me know when you're ready for part 3. Uncle Drew and T done drivin' just yet. Narrated by Uncle Drew. Now, if you've been riding with me this far, you know things ain't just weird, they're downright otherworldly. Feathers floating. Shadows missin'. Whispering vents and brides on the run. But day 3, that's the day everything came full circle. That's the day I learned the truth about this Uber gig and what it really meant. Ride 6, the return of the bride. I started the day late. Slept like a man haunted, which I suppose I was. The first ping came at noon. Pickup, Whispering Pines Cemetery. I almost laughed. Almost. I pulled up to the gates. There she was, Shelby. The runaway bride from Ride 1. But this time, no dress. She wore a long black coat and held a bouquet of dead flowers. She got in the back like we'd spoken yesterday. Like time didn't mean the same thing to her anymore. "You remember me?" I asked. She nodded. They all lead back to him. My hands tightened on the wheel. Who is he? Shelby, the hollow man, the thing in the mirror, that whisper in my vents. She leaned forward, whispered something that made my spine curl. "He's the collector. And you've been his driver the whole time." The air went cold. The rear view mirror cracked. And that old feather, it floated between us again, only this time it had blood on the tip. Ride 7, the final fare. New ping. No pickup location. No drop-off location either. Just a single word, "end." I stared at it so long, My phone overheated. The screen burned my thumb when I tapped accept. The moment I hit it, the world outside changed. The road disappeared. Trees bent backward. The sky turned gray like an old photograph. My car moved without gas, tires spinning on shadows. Shelby was gone. Now, the back seat held a mirror. A full-length one. Just standing there. Like it belonged. I looked into it. Saw myself. Then saw him. The collector. No face. Just a hole where one should be. And hands that were too long, fingers like twigs soaked in oil. He was standing behind me in the reflection but not in the seat. He whispered through the glass, "You picked them up. You brought them here. You are my herald, Drew." I screamed. Slammed the brakes. The car stopped. I was no longer on a road. I was inside something. A space that looked like my car but felt like a ribcage. Walls pulsing. Windows showing other people's lives. All the rides I'd taken. And in every one he was there. Watching. In the mirror. In the shadows. In the air. The choice. A door appeared in front of me. No handle. Just a symbol, a bird in a cage. That dang bird again. Then I heard voices. Shelby S. The Prophet S. The woman with the birdcage. You can stay, or deliver one more. What does that mean? I shouted. No answer. But my phone buzzed one last time. A new ride. Pick up, my house. Drop off, unknown. I looked into the mirror. My face had changed. Eyes darker. Skin thinner, like I'd been peeled and rewound. I knew the truth then. This whole job wasn't about making side cash. It wasn't about ride sharing. It was about delivering souls. I was the Uber driver of the in-between. And the final ride was me. Epilogue. You might be wondering how I'm telling this story if I took that last ride. Let's just say some roads don't end, they loop. I'm still driving. Still picking up the lost, the cursed, the curious. So if you ever get in a car with a driver named Drew, and there's a feather floating on the dashboard, buckle up. You might be next.